Hello, I'm Brendan Carroll.
And I'm Jackie Morgan for SSCTV News.
Welcome back to another semester at Salem State.
In our top story, in the early hours of Friday, October 2nd, a Bowditch Hall resident assistant was assaulted by 5 men. He sustained a broken nose and other light lacerations. 2 of the attackers have been identified as on-campus residents. The 2 residents have been suspended from the dorms, and pending a hearing before the judicial board, all 5 face possible suspension or expulsion.
Derek Kamusian, a WMWM disc jockey, allegedly threatened to assassinate President George Bush while doing his radio show. Log reporter Mike Lesko contacted Kamusian to confirm the incident, but Kamusian refused to comment. Lesko, in turn, called the Boston branch of Secret Service to obtain their opinion. After researching the situation, the Secret Service informed President Harrington's office. When all was said and done, Kamusian was suspended by WM. Allison Roche, programming director for WMWM, had no comment, saying, "As far as WMWM is concerned, the incident is behind us now." When reached for comment, Professor Alan Golub, advisor to the log, said the actions taken by Mr. Lesko were journalistically irresponsible. No official actions has been taken against Mr. Lesko, although he has resigned from writing news for the log. In response to Professor Golub, Mike Lesko said, "I feel that when someone threatens the life of a president, it is newsworthy."
Student Government Association Vice President Kathleen McDonald resigned from her post just 6 months after her election to office. President John Pastore read Ms. McDonald's letter of resignation before the SGA Senate.
Kathleen has resigned, and she asked for me to read her letter of resignation at our first meeting. So I'm going to do so. To the Student Government Association Incorporated, please accept this letter as my formal resignation from the position of Student Government Vice President, term 1992-93. Due to financial and academic stress, I need to realign my priorities and balance my life. My heart belongs to Salem State and to the purpose of our organization. It is because of no negative feelings or political clashes that I have decided to resign. I will remain as involved as much as my schedule permits. Very sincerely and affectionately, Kathleen McDonald.
Chairperson to Rules Committee Christine Smith, a junior senator, was accepted by the Senate to replace McDonald as vice president, as per SGA regulations.
In a story that is still unfolding, the log has come under fire recently from retiring SGA Secretary Catherine Face for budget mismanagement.
As you know, I mentioned to you before, as my duty as treasurer, it's my duty to oversee all use of funds, and I have the power, if I choose to, if I feel deemed necessary, to freeze the funds or suspend the funds of any group or club who misuses them. Unfortunately, this summer this was the case. I mentioned to you this before, that the log had left $3,000 worth of printing bills from February left unpaid this summer. I was not able to get in contact with anybody, but I chose, because this was the old administration, that I was not going to, to freeze this administration's funds. I wasn't going to start the school year off and say, no money for you guys because you couldn't handle your own bills and everything else. I didn't feel that was, and John and the rest of the e-board didn't feel that was really appropriate to do. We see how things started off this year and take it from there.
To be quite honest, I did not realize that today's meeting of the Senate was going to be of this nature. I was informed 15 minutes before the meeting, so I did not have time to prepare for this. I just grabbed a copy of the budget, came up here to try to help.
But what we're concerned about is the administration. What we want to look into is the administration, because granted, they could have a wonderful paper, but if their administration is falling apart, then the group and club is going to fall apart. So what we're trying to do is look into their administration. We're not trying to, attack them. We're trying to help them. We're trying to help them get back on their feet. And we just want to look into how their administration is going and if we can give them any assistance. So that's, we're not trying to attack them. We're just trying to help their administration.
What I'd like to point out is that last year's paper was under a lot of trouble, and because the main problem is what we've run into problems with is the money. And we had a business manager who really was not on top of things. and that caused almost all the problems we had. And I think that this year, it's already under control, and I think that it'll keep going in a smooth manner, and I think that this year's going to be a total turnaround from that. It's just that we certainly don't think that we should be held accountable, the staff of this year, for what was done last year, when this year's already turned it around, and the funds so far as of this year are under control now.
Are you voting on November 3rd? Are you even registered? As a service to you, MassPIRG, Mass Public Interest Research Group, sponsored a voter registration drive to help students register to vote and learn about some of the issues at stake in the upcoming election. SSCTV News' Karen Thompson was there to find out how it went.
This year on the November ballot, there are going to be 2 questions sponsored by MassPIRG, both of which are environmental questions. The first is question number 3, the Recycling Initiative, which is going to set packaging standards for products to cut down on the amount of excess packaging that we're having to deal with when we go into stores. And because right now, 1/3 of the state's garbage is coming just from excess packaging. So we want to cut down on that to reduce the amount we're putting into landfills. The other is question number 4, called the Polluter Pay Initiative, and that's going to require toxic waste producers to pay 1/5 of a penny per pound to clean up their hazardous waste. Right now in Massachusetts, there are 2,700 hazardous waste sites and 2,000 possible waste sites. In the past 18 months, only 2 of those were cleaned up because there's no money for it. So rather than requiring the taxpayers to pay to clean up these waste sites, we're going to require the polluters to pay to clean them up. And right now, working on voter registration. Currently, only about 35 to 40% of all college students are registered to vote. But college students have historically had one of the greatest voices out of all citizen groups in the country and even in the world. So we're trying to get as many students as possible to register to vote and then actually get out and vote on November 3rd, because they can really have a huge impact on this year's election, and this is a big election. So vote yes on 3 and 4 in November. Definitely.
If you are still unregistered to vote, contact the MassPIRG office in the basement of the campus center or call extension 6787. The deadline to register is tomorrow, so better hurry.
Campus rape is a serious problem at colleges across the country, and Salem State is not immune. In order to help educate students and reach out to victims of assault, Catherine Tenahan, a victim of 3 violent acts, spoke to a group of 130 girls about her experiences on September 22nd at Peabody Hall. The program was taped by WBZ-TV. Lori Matthews was at Peabody Hall to cover it.
The accomplishment for me is the things that have happened to me. I was raped when I was 20, which I speak about now. I was kidnapped and almost murdered in 1985, and I was raped by an ex-boyfriend in 1986. And now all these things have been turned around for good, because I'm helping other girls that have gone through similar situations come out and talk about it, and it just makes me feel good to see them healing, because I've healed, and I'm very, very happy now, even through all these circumstances.
A lot of the girls got a lot of things out of it. A lot of girls shared feelings that I don't think that they thought they were going to share with us. They came out, and a lot of girls talked about a lot of circumstances, not even the rape, the different violence they had when they were younger, different problems they had with alcohol abuse or anything else, anything that's related to a rape or a violent attempt towards a female.
They see the difference in me. They see that I'm a happy person, even though I've gone through a lot. And it works. It really works. And so I tell them to first start talking about it, you know, whether it's with a friend. Hopefully they'll eventually go into therapy, tell their parents, tell a clergyman or somebody that they can really trust. And once you start talking about it, then a little lifts at a time. And you don't keep stuffing it down.
Plans are being made to hold monthly meetings with Tenahan for victims of such crimes. If you are a victim of a violent crime and would like to speak to Ms. Tenahan, contact Paula Costa, Peabody Hall RD.
Very upset and disappointed was the reaction of a Salem woman who had $1,300 worth of damage done to her property by party-going Salem State students. Linda Reynolds awoke the morning of Friday the 26th to find the swing set in her backyard of her Lafayette home destroyed and a flag stolen from the exterior of her house. When reached for comment, Ms. Reynolds said she hoped the people responsible would own up to the damages. If anyone has any information on the person or persons responsible, please call either the campus police at 741-6111 or the Salem Police at 744-1212. And now to sports.
Hi, this is Brian Hennessy with sports. Over the summer, Salem State was presented with the Howard Coe Smith Cup for the 5th consecutive year. The Smith Cup is awarded to the MASCAC conference member that accumulates the most points through overall records. With a combined team record of 66, 15, and 1, Salem State racked up 42 of 66 points. Westfield and Fitchburg finished second and third. The women's tennis team dropped 3 matches in a week-long period, suffering losses to Plymouth State, Rhode Island, and University of Maine at Arano. Tennis standouts included Lucinda Glaquinto and Nancy Kirwan in doubles versus University of Maine. Singles players Susie Hickey and Nancy Kirwan, also the doubles team of Lauren McGonigal and Gia Morales versus Rhode Island. The weekend of September 26th and 27th was a big one for the sailing team. The men finished 13th at the Hood Trophy Regatta, hosted by Tufts University. Senior Jim Karolekis skippered the A Division boat, while sophomore Luke Buxter skippered for the B Division. The women placed 4th at New England single-handed elimination, hosted by MIT freshman Ann Marshall, skippered for Salem. The golf team captured first place at the New England Collegiate Golf Tournament at Williams College the weekend of September 26th and 27th. The team was led by Gary Scanlon of Bunyan Bay, Ireland, with a 3-over par, 2-day total of 145. Other standouts were juniors Ryan Roulette and Scott Gild, and sophomores Eric Emineau and Jason Rusconi. The men's cross-country team took first place by placing 6 runners in a recent meet at Fitchburg State College. Saugus' John Bowser finished in first in a time of 24 minutes, 24 seconds for the 4.8-mile course. The women's team finished 4th overall, paced by Gail Gordon and Carol Tuttle. Viking soccer is alive and kicking. Both the men's and women's teams have shut out 2 opponents within the last 2 weeks. On Wednesday, September 24th, the women trounced University of Massachusetts' Dartmouth 2-0. 2 days later, they outplayed Southern Maine to the same outcome. Kristen Taylor minded the net in both matches. She has 4 shutouts on the season. Junior captain Tracy Ouellette scored goals in both of the women's games. She was named to the Massachusetts State College Athletic Conference Honor Roll for her performances. The 2 wins boosted the Vikings' ladies soccer record to 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie overall this season. Their outstanding overall ranking as of September 28th was number 2 in New England and number 10 nationally in the Gatorade weekly standings. This afternoon at 3:30, the women will face off against Assumption College. Considering their record, this proves to be a must-see game. The men are just as hot on the field to start the season. They're ranked number 9 in New England so far. They are unranked nationally. The Viking men totally stymied Gordon College at home on September 26th, posting a 1-0 shutout. Riding on the wings of that success, they shut down WNEC 2-0. Senior John Garofalo netted both goals in that game. He was named to the conference honor roll for his performance. The back-to-back shutouts were masterminded by Mike Donovan, Salem's freshman goalie from Louisville, Texas. They were his first 2 shutouts of his collegiate career. The Vikings will be away Wednesday for a match against Western Connecticut State. Their next home game is Saturday at 1:00 p.m., where they will challenge Rutgers Newark. Salem's field hockey team is off to a rocky 0-5 start this season. The entire squad has rallied in an honorable effort every game. Junior Lori Kashinguno has 69 saves, resulting from 4 tremendous efforts in goal. Salem's next field hockey game is at home against Endicott on Thursday afternoon at 3:30. The Viking volleyball team is having a tough time as well. At the start of this season, they are marred by a 1-4 record. Suffering 3 tough losses in a row last week, they hope to turn it around in Thursday at home against Fitchburg. Game time is 7 p.m. And now to Tina Donato for entertainment.
Hi, I'm Tina Donato for SSCTV Entertainment News.
On September 16th, 17th, and 18th, the Salem State Theater faculty presented a twin bill of fun. Professor Thomas Letty of the English Department and David George of the Theater Department performed scenes from David Mamet's Life in the Theater.
She was off. You felt that too, eh? I know you felt that.
Yes,
Specifically tonight.
Perhaps tonight.
Yes, especially tonight.
It is a marvel. You can work with her at all, but you work with her so well.
Do the best you can.
Oh,
It's enviable. The show goes on.
Selena Sky owned the stage for the second half of the evening. Her one-woman show entitled Plastic Sheets is a fictional look at events in Miss Sky's life with excerpts from her mother's diary.
The car accident's epic. I've heard this story so many times growing up that I actually have sense memories of it, and I wasn't even there. Now, honey, it was the first day of the new freeway in Honolulu. You were about, a year and a half, and there I was driving, and a truck hit me head on doing 40 miles an hour.
If you miss Plastic Sheets here at Salem State, you can catch her this season in New York when she joins two other one-woman performance pieces by Logan Whitchurch and Wendy Harmond. The Student Theater Ensemble will be presenting Mesh on October 16th at 8 o'clock p.m. Mesh is a night of entertainment through various presentations of dance, music, skits, and dramatic monologues. Mesh will take place in the Callan Studio, and admission is free with your student ID. The Winfinsky Gallery opened its season with internationally recognized ceramicist Roberta Griffith. Ms. Griffith's work has been displayed in over 150 shows and exhibitions in the U.S., Spain, Mexico, Italy, Sweden, and Japan. Ms. Griffith has also been the recipient of several awards, and her work currently appears in many museums throughout the world. The Winfinsky Gallery is located in the ground floor of the campus center between the Student Government Association office and the residence cafeteria. On Monday, September 21st, Diane O'Donoghue, professor of art history at the Tufts University School of Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, spoke on the gendering of sin in European painting. O'Donoghue received her PhD from Harvard University and specializes in Asian art and contemporary theory and issues involving women in art. On Thursday, October 22nd, Salem State College welcomes Cambridge poets Pamela Alexander and Martin Espada. Alexander teaches poetry at MIT and is a past recipient of the Yale Younger Poets Award. Espada has won many awards, including fellowships from the Massachusetts Artists Foundation and the National Endowment for the Arts. In addition to working as a tenants lawyer, Espada teaches poetry workshops in Cambridge. Thursday's reading is free to the public and will start at 8 p.m. in the Ellison Campus Center. I'm Tina Donato for SSCTV Entertainment News.
Now for a list of upcoming events here on campus.
Thank you for watching SSC TV News. I'm Brendan Carroll.
And I'm Jackie Morgan. Have a good day.
College Roast Beef and Pizza, located at 333 Lafayette Street, directly across from Salem State. They have hot and cold subs, seafood plates, pizza, salads, and dinners. Hours are Sunday through Wednesday, 10:30 till midnight, and Thursday through Saturday till 2 a.m. Free delivery service is available to Salem State by calling 744-9752.